Okay, good morning and welcome to another weekly market directional buyers discussion where we use the concept of smart money trading to actually look at the chart and get to make our weekly buyer. So, good morning once again. So, please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. And my screen is up, visible. Please let me also know in the comment section, please. Okay, you can hear me then. My screen is visible. All right, all right. So, okay. So my mic is audible, my screen is visible. So let's start right away. So first we'll be starting with Bitcoin as usual. So we are on a Bitcoin chart. So we'll go down to daily time frame to look at what the daily time frame is giving to us. If the chart is not visible enough where to you, just click on your setting icon at the top, then change the quality to higher picture quality, so that the screen will be more visible and brighter, but you don't need to strain your eye. All right, so here we are on a Bitcoin chart. So we are looking at Bitcoin from the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, this is the daily demand. And on this daily demand, you can see price has already tapped into the daily demand. That means looking at Bitcoin from the daily level, Bitcoin is what? Bullish, because this level is still what? Intact. So from the daily, let's get to look at the structures. So at this point, we had a break of structure. We had a break at this level. Internally, we had what? A change of character to the upside. We had a break of structure to this side. Market reverse to the upside. We had this what? Change of character to the upside. This break of structure. So we've marked the internal price action before what? Having this external high taken out at this point. So at that point, we now have a new high. So this is our new high on the daily level, and price has tapped into this point. So let's go down to the 4 hours and the 1 hour to actually what? Get possible entry confirmation. Okay, so looking at the 4 hours, we'll be looking at this trading range, this high here to this demand. That is our current trading range. We have to look for possible trade because this is our external high and this is our external low. Let me get to turn on my highlighter. So this is our high and this is our low down here. So what we're having here is what? Internal price movement. So looking at the internal price movement, what can we see on the 4 hours? What can we see on the 4 hours? So looking at the 4 hours, as of last week we said, this is a 4 hours what? Inducement level. This is a 4 hours inducement level. Sorry. Okay, so this is a 4 hours inducement level, but if you step down to the 1 hour, you see that what this zone was like an order block for this zone. But why are we not actually taking our trade from this particular zone? This high didn't actually take out this low at the down part, but it took out the internal structures to the downside. So if you actually want to take trade on it on the 1 hour, it's something like you actually knowing fully well that the overall trend is bearish, but you're just trying to scalp. So let's get to step down to the 1 hour to get more precise entry. I don't want us to waste any time looking at the charts today. So looking at this price action from the 1 hour at this level, this was our change of character at this point. On the 1 hour, we had a change of character. We had a break of structure here. We have another break of structure to the upside. We had this change of character at this level here. Let's just look at this external high here. So at this point, we had another change of character to the upside. So where is our other block we want to look for possible trade from? We want to see this market retrace all the way to this point. So on Bitcoin, this is our inducement level. This is our inducement level here. So we want to actually see this price drop all the way down to this zone for price to actually continue to the upside. So this is what we have. Our buy order at this level. Here is our 1:3. But if you want to target the extreme, that's 1:6. We can possibly go for the 1:6. So this is realistic. So now, what was the idea behind this particular setup? Knowing fully well that this is an inducement, and you can actually see that our price has actually taken out the liquidity above this point, and we have all of these fair value gaps to be filled on the 4 hours. So we are trading into taking all of these fair value gaps. So we are not interested in actually catching the whole movement from this point to this point. We're not interested in actually taking just some percentage of the move. So we'll be looking for this price to actually drop to this level and continue. But see, if this price should break this level, there's no point looking for any buys, because all of this point has been mitigated. All of these points has been mitigated, so you don't need to look for any buys on this point. Anything that makes this price falls below this low, the price will definitely continue to the downside. This price will continue to the downside. So whatever you're doing, this is where we should be looking at for our buys, and we should be able to leave at this point. But 1:3 first. Then if the price is able to push above this high more, then we can move our break even. Directions will be given on the group, both the Telegram and the WhatsApp community there. And if you're not on the Telegram community, do well to check the description of this video. You will see the Telegram community there. I have not pinned the WhatsApp yet. Below in the description is just the Telegram. So do well to join the Telegram group. Everything will be dropped here. So this is what we have for BTC this morning. So let's get to look at gold. Let's get to look at gold. For those that actually traded gold last week, they know that gold actually was played a lot, like in massive profits. So let's get to take everything off here. Okay, so this is gold daily time frame, and looking at the immediate price action on gold, we have the last break of structure here on daily. So working with the daily level, this is what our order block on this daily level here. So let's go down to 4 hours to see if we should be looking out for any buying opportunity. So from the 4 hours, we'll get to refine this chart to this level. This is what we have on the 4 hours. So we have this break of structure. I'm going to extend that properly. Another break of structure. 4 hours. Then we have the last one here. So this is the last break of structure on 4 hours. So as of last week, before I proceed, so everything is intact. So this is what the 4 hours looks like. So this is the chart on 4 hours, and if you get to look at this liquidity has been given to us at this point. This liquidity has been given to us. So let's get to go down to the 1 hour, then 15 minutes to actually see if we get a possible reversal to the upside. So here on the 1 hour, let's get to refine our demand level properly. Okay, so we now have this demand. And you know, as of last week, we had this sell to the downside, and you can see price tapped into the zone and what crashed to the downside. And the first zone we're actually looking at for last week was this point. We are looking at for this point, and price actually tapped into this point, reacted a bit to the upside before what crashing to the downside, and that's how we had this zone and this zone. So looking at this current price action, price is currently sitting on a demand level. Price is currently sitting on a demand level, and for us to actually take this buy on the 1 hour, this is what we want to see. We want to actually see price give us a change of character on the 1 hour at this point. So we want to see a value change of character on this 1 hour. So price should be able to break above this point, because if price doesn't break above this level, then it tells you that what the price is still bearish, or the momentum to the downside is still what intact. I don't know if I'm actually making a point. If price doesn't give us a push above this level on the 1 hour time frame, this tells us that what the price is still bearish. So we have no business actually what working with this chart till this high is actually what taken out. And that's when I say a lot of persons actually what marking this point as their change of character and this as their other block for price to actually continue to the upside. I was like, no, because if you look at this price action, we have what a break of structure at this level. You have this liquidity at this level here. And once you get to understand the concept of liquidity, you don't get to fall for a lot of these traps you see in the market now. This was what? Another block. That was a supply level. And we have this high here as our inducement. If you also see, we also have engineered liquidity. Look at this high. And there was still a fair value gap, which tells you if price should tap into it, you want to seek confirmation to the downside. I think for some persons that actually reached out to me within the week, I actually explained something to them concerning this particular level here, that now price has actually what giving you a change of character at this point. If you look at the internal structure, look at here, you have what a change of character, and here was their supply. If you check on the 15 minutes, you will see the inducement that was given. Let me show you guys on the 15 minutes. So this is what the chart looks like on the 15 minutes. So I was actually looking at for the price to actually take out this point here, because if you look at this 15 minutes, you see this was the last high. This price pushed above, so that means there's an order block here, and that's what this price reacted to. So I actually wanted to see price violate this low, giving me a change of character on this 15 minutes. Then what? You see, I have my inducement here, and this is my supply zone. I want to see price come back into. And you can actually see what immediately price tapped into it, the price reacted to the downside. So now what are we going to look at on this 15 minutes? We have no business with all of this again. Let's get to look at the immediate price action on this level. So looking at this level, I want to see price able to come back to this point, then give me a confirmation. So this is what I possibly want to see on gold. I want to see this price move above this, then come back into this other block, like the other block that the price will create within this zone. Then we should look for continuation to the upside. So this will be our first target if you're actually trading to the upside. This is what we want to see. At least gold should be able to push. If the bullish momentum is sustained, we should be able to take out all of these relative equal highs. But if this zone is broken, then we will look for this supply. Then this will actually be a valid supply for us to actually trade from. This will actually get to be a valid supply for us to take our trades from here. So any trade we are taking, this is like our external high and external low. So we actually want to get a confirmation here, then take this price all the way to this point. So do well to join the Telegram community below, or if you're on the WhatsApp community, or whichever community you're on. Any trade shared on the Telegram will definitely be shared on the WhatsApp group. So check the description of this video to join the Telegram community. The WhatsApp community is yet to be pinned to this section. So maybe in subsequent live stream, the WhatsApp community will also be attached below our description. So this is what we are looking at for gold. So for now, all fingers crossed, we have no business taking any trade yet, in as much as we are sitting on a demand zone or within a demand zone. We actually want to get confirmation before taking the price to the upside. So that's what we have for gold this morning or for this week. So whatever bias, or if there's any change in momentum or change in price direction, we'll definitely get to drop whatever bias on our community channels. So this morning we'll be looking at Ethereum. Let's get to look at Ethereum. So this is Ethereum daily time frame. Here we are on the daily time frame on Ethereum, and the same thing we said on BTC, even as of last week. You know, our last projection for last week was buys to the upside, buys to the upside. And you can see that what since last week Monday till now, the market has been bullish. And that was one thing when you actually what gets to understand the directional bias, or you get to actually what interpret your chart properly. So looking at this daily from this level, we can see that what price has already tapped into this demand level, and price is currently what buying to the upside. And where is the supply zone for this daily level? This is what we have on the daily level. We want to see price trade into this zone on the daily. So this is what we have. This is our external high, and this is our external low. So this is the low on the daily here, and this is the high at this point. So going down to the 4 hours to actually see what is happening on the 4 hours time frame. So on the 4 hours, this is what we have. We have this break of structure at this point. And having this break of structure, we can see that our price has already tapped into this inducement level, and from last week projection we said this is the zone we actually were targeting. So let me get to refine this properly. So we said this is what our engineered liquidity, all of this here is what our liquidity pool. We want to see this price continue all the way to this point. That's what we want to see. So all we're looking at for this week again is what we're still looking at for buys, just like the analysis we did last week previously, looking at for buys, in as much as I think Solana actually went against us for reversing to our direction, our desired direction, but Bitcoin, no, Solana and Bitcoin actually what they did well, just as we predicted. So just Ethereum that we had a stop loss on for those actually what took the trade during the live section. So on this Ethereum, this is what we have. We have this zone as the other block. We want to actually what see this pair come back into. So from the 4 hours, you've seen that we are looking at for what more buys to the upside. So let's get to refine this to the 1 hour. So this is what we have on this 1 hour zone. So looking at the price action from 1 hour, we have this demand here, and this zone is what our inducement. This is our inducement. You know, when you have two other blocks, most times or likely the first one is always used as an inducement zone, and you have to get to understand that particular concept properly. And when you have those two other blocks, always do well to work with the extreme. And if you want to work with a zone like this, always make sure you are trading from maybe a 15 minutes with confirmation. 15 minutes with confirmation. So for this one, we want to see this price drop to this zone before what continuation to the upside. So this is what we have here. Target 1:3, easy piece. If you want to go for extreme, just like what we have on Bitcoin, then this is 1:, I'll prefer going for 1:5. So this is a 1:5. Don't forget, this is where we are targeting. We want to see price trade all the way into this zone. Let's look to the left to actually get to see what the left looks like on 1 hour. they can actually see that all we have here is what? Liquidity. I want to see what, based on our liquidity concept, we want to see price gets to take out all of this liquidity. So for this week, I'm still bullish. Last week I was bullish. This week I'm still what? I'm still bullish, and I'm not just being bullish based on sentiment or whatever, but I'm being bullish based on what my chart is telling me. So I expect a sell-off to the downside, then a continuation to this point. So for this week, our directional bias is what? Buys on Ethereum and Bitcoin. We'll get to look at BNB and Solana. Alright, so we'll look at another Forex pair and we'll be looking at USD JPY. USD JPY. USD JPY. Okay, so looking at USD JPY from the daily level, this is what we have on the daily level. On the daily. So on the daily level, let's get to look at where this trend is coming from. So we can see this level here, and this is what multi-time frame analysis helps you to do. You get to see the chart from a bigger picture, so you get to actually understand what you are doing. So from the daily level, this is a change of character. At this level here, we have a breakout structure to the upside, and price has returned to the demand to continue to the upside. So from the daily, we have this level here as a change of character. So this is a change of character on the daily. We have our breakout structure here. And we have another breakout structure on the daily at this point. So this is what we have on the daily. So looking at the daily picture, we have our demand zone here, and we have this high. So from the daily, this is the last demand zone we want to see price come back into. This is on the daily time frame. And if you are looking at this one from the daily, what are we actually looking at for buys on the daily? We have this high. This is what price is targeting. We have this high here for price to actually what? Trade into. So we are looking at to actually take all of this liquidity. We are looking at to take all of these descending highs to the downside. So we want this price to clear all of this liquidity resting here on the daily. So let's get to step down to the 4 hours to see if we'll have any clean price action. So on the 4 hours, we will refine this to this level. This is the other block we have at this level on 4 hours. So on the 4 hours, this was the last. We had this break, not the last one. I can see a tiny break to the upside at this level. So we have this one here at this level here. There's a breakout structure here, and this was the high we actually were looking at for last week for price to actually what come take out. Because if you go down to the 1 hour, you will get to actually see that what price is coming from an extreme order block. And this is the extreme order block that price is coming from. Price is coming from this zone here. from what we did previously last week. So this tells us that what the price is what bullish to the upside, because I clearly stated that what this was descending highs that we want to see price actually what gets to clear all of them, and you can see that price has actually what taken out all of the liquidities to the upside. So from the 1 hour, what can we see? This is our change of character. Our change of character here. We have our break of structure. We have another break of structure here. We have another break of structure here. Okay, so now where is the demand zone we actually want to see? This point. And price has actually what tapped into this. So we can see what the engineered liquidity that was given to us. We have this level liquidity given to us, and price has mitigated this zone, and you can see the reaction to the upside. For those on the Telegram group, this trade was shared within the week, but yesterday I asked we delete all pending orders because price didn't come back into this zone. We waited for this zone since last week Thursday or thereabouts. We were waiting for this price. When we had this drop, I was expecting this drop to come back down, but price never did. So I just said we should delete, and we'll get to get all of our entries back again. So for this particular one, price has already mitigated this zone. So what do I want to see? I want to go down to the 15 minutes so we can actually join this trade, because we've already deleted our entries as of yesterday. So I will have to go down to the 15 minutes to get confirmation for us to join. So if you are waiting for confirmation based on what we have before us, this is what we want to see. We want to, because there's a supply here, so we want to have a change of character here. But I doubt if price will be able to continue this momentum to this point. So if price is able to maybe give us, let's say, give us this high, then come back down, break above this one, then that will be our change of character. Then I want to see the price come back into this zone then. So this is what likely I want to see, because I don't think this 15 minutes price will be able to continue above this. And if it does that, the tendency of this price retracing to give us a valid point to actually take our trade from, I think is unrealistic. It's unrealistic. But assuming we didn't delete our previous position, by now we'll have been in this trade and running in profit. But nevertheless, there is no point to regret or whatever the case may be. So, but we still have to still sit tight and get to observe what price will give to us on the 15 minutes. Let's get to see what we have on the 15 minutes, and if we don't get a confirmation, so be it, we'll wait for another setup. But this was a very clean setup we got last week. But since the price was continuing to the upside, I felt like price will never come back to it, so let's just get to delete it. And I was actually thinking or anticipating during this live section, this will be like a current market entry for all of us, both those in the community and maybe those just joining the live section. But price has already mitigated this zone, and you can see price already moving. So all we can do now is wait for confirmation on the 15 minutes. Confirmation on the 15 minutes. It's actually been long. I actually took a trade on USD JPY or GJ. It's just been Bitcoin for the past weeks, because I think we actually got a buy here. This is somewhere here we're looking for this retracement to come down. Price still didn't come back. The price still just moved. We had another buy order pending here. The price didn't still come back to. USD JPY has just been acting funny, and the only one I will have actually get to be up and running this morning. We've already deleted the position yesterday, but We'll see what price will do coming back to 15 minutes or 5 minutes. If we get entry confirmation, good. If we don't, so be it. We'll get to move over to the next setup. So do well to leave the pair you want us to look at in the comment section. Once we are done looking at our major pairs, we will get to look at the pairs in the comment section. So do well to leave your pairs in the comment section. We will get to look at your pairs and get to give you the weekly directional bias for what you should be possibly be looking at for this week on your own pair. That's if maybe you don't trade any of the ones that I've actually analyzed now. So do well to leave your own pair in the comment section. We're going to attend to as much as we can before the time elapses, because this live stream is to end by 8 a.m. It's usually a 1-hour live stream. So let's get to look at Solana for the crypto traders. Okay, so this was Solana as of last week. Good price action. So Solana and BTC actually delivered. I think the only place we had a field setup was on Ethereum. So I will just have to just go over to Solana, just looking at the current. Let's just look at the 4 hours, then 1 hour, so that I can get to look at the pairs in the comment section. So you can see from the 4 hours, looking at the 4 hours, we are expecting this price to still continue to the upside. This markup is from last week live stream. So that's why you have to always show up during our live section, so that at least you get to understand what we are discussing the next week, in as much as I still get to break them down. So this is what we had as of last week. We wanted this price to continue, and price tapped into our zone, gave us a 1:3 before crashing to downside to take all of this liquidity. You can see we actually marked this as our liquidity. We understood that there was liquidity resting at this point, and if this zone should fail, price will definitely come back into this. So price came back, took out the liquidity, and you can see continuation to the upside. So from the 4 hours, this is our inducement zone. So we want to see price actually work, continue to the upside. So if you look at this, we have this break here. We have this break, and where is our other block? This is our other block here on the 4 hours. So I think Solana is having similar price action to what we have on BTC. So if you trade crypto, this is what we want to see. So we refine this to this zone here. So we want to actually see this price come back into this zone and continue to the upside. So if you trade Solana, you get to refine this to the 15 minutes. I was actually thinking of something. So I was actually thinking of something. Basically on the channel, I get to drop just Bitcoin, USD JPY, and GBP JPY. And I think for some persons, they don't get to trade those pairs. So within the time I was off, within the last weekend, I was actually thinking of something. I was like, what about people that don't get to trade those pairs? So I was thinking of maybe we'll do a pool maybe on the Telegram group, or we can still do it here. We'll get to drop people will get to drop 5 pairs aside Bitcoin, USD JPY, and the GBP JPY, because those are the 3 major pairs I trade. We can decide to add gold. So our one suggestion where we get to add let's say with gold that's 4. So we can make it maybe 5, 6. Okay, Victor, you trade any crypto. We've already done Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. So we've analyzed those ones. Maybe you're just joining. So I was thinking of maybe we'll do 4 crypto pairs, then 4 currency pairs or metals. So, or we can just round it up to maybe uh, looking at maybe 10 pairs. We'll be sharing 10 setups on the channel, but you know me very well. I don't drop setup anyhow. If you've gone through the channel, you know that what I don't drop setup anyhow. My setups are, if I need to see all of my criteria in place before I get to share them. And that's why you don't see me trade every week or every day. If I don't see my criteria in those setup, I don't drop them. So even if we are to suggest pairs we'll be dropping on the community and we'll work with that, it's still based on the A plus setup. If it's not there, it's not there. So from the comment section, we'll start with silver, then US oil. So let's get to attend to what we have in the comment section. Silver, then US oil. Alright, so let's get to take this off, then look at the pair properly. Okay, so this is what we have on silver daily time frame. Silver daily time frame. And if we should work with what we can see, I believe we can see this break of structure, a major break of structure to the upside here. This level, we have this break of structure to the upside again. We have this break of structure at that level, and we have these other tiny break of structures to the upside, sorry. So looking at this, we have two levels, and the one we should actually be looking at for, I'm seeing we have a level at this point. We have a level at this point, and we also have a level above, but I would prefer to work with this based on what we see on the 4 hours or 1 hour. So from the daily, we have this level, and I can see another one at this point. We have this level. So let's step down to the 4 hours so I actually get to look at what to work with. But you all know I like extreme zones. So if I'm to actually work with, this is what I want to work with. But let's go down to the 4 hours to actually see if the first order block meets all of our trading criteria. Alright, so this is what we have on. So on the 4 hours, this is what we have on 4 hours. So this is what we have. And we have first, I can see this liquidity that needs to be taken out. At this level here. So already we can see that what the price is bearish to the downside. Major lows has been taken out. This gave us what? A change of character. And now we have this break of structure at this level here. So having this break of structure, let's get to look at, because this is what our supply here. This is our supply. So let's get to go down to the 1 hour, because looking at this pair, we are currently what, bearish. So we have to trade with the direction of the trend. So if we are to look at the direction of this trend here, this is our break of structure at this level here. We have this here as our inducement level. This is our inducement here. So I will actually want to see price continue all the way to this level. I actually want to see price continue all the way to this level. So price should be able to move to this point, then continue to the downside. So that's my point of interest. This is what I would love to see. That's if the price is still bearish. This is what I want to see. Price come back here because we have a whole lot to the downside. You can see this zone. Did we get to refine this on 1 hour? Okay, so if we want to refine this particular zone on the 1 hour, we have two zones we are possibly looking at for this one and this one. Going in with this one, we are going in with entry confirmation. Going in with this is entry confirmation. So this is what we have. So on the 1 hour, I want to actually, for me to take this particular zone, I want to see price give me confirmation on the 15 minutes. I think it was Excel that asked for gold, yeah, for silver. So I want to see price give me a confirmation for me to actually take this buy, because we still have this zone below here. So I definitely want to see confirmation on this before continuing to the upside. The next pair is US oil. US oil. All right, so looking at the immediate price action, so if you get to look at this immediate price action, at this point, we had a change of character at this level here, and we had a break of structure. And having a break of structure, we already know this was an inducement. This was where we had this supply that this price is currently reacting to the downside. So where is our last low? This is the last low here. This is the last low. So from the daily level, we can already see that our price is reacting to a zone, but that will be my inducement on the daily. I want to see price react to this level on my daily. So let's get to go down to 4 hours. Okay. So looking at the 4 hours, first let's refine this properly. Okay, so we have this on the 4 hours current price action, this, and this. That's what we have on the 4 hours. So this will be our inducement. This will be our inducement. I want to see price actually will break above this high and continue to the upside. So let's get to look at 1 hour. If maybe that zone price is actually reacting from is a valid supply. Let's get to see. So let's say if you want to actually work with this zone, the zone actually meets all of the trading criteria we want to actually look at for. If we were to go with 1 hour, so this is what we have on 1 hour. let's look at if all confirmations are in checked. We can see that what this point here gave us a valid change of character. This gave us a valid change of character here on this one R. We had a valid change of character here on 1R. And price has already mitigated the supply and dropping. So for me, personally, for me to actually want to take this, to look for more sell opportunity, I want to see price break this low first. So for now, I will not want to do anything. I just want to see price break this low. Giving me what? A break of structure. Because now, this is where it gets tricky. Look at this point. If you put your line here, you see you have this trend line liquidity. You have your liquidity there with X. So that tells you that what? If price should break above this, price will continue to the zone I marked above. So if you actually want to look for a sell opportunity, we want to see this price break this point. Just hold on, let me get to check the 15 minutes to see if there is any reason for us, because from the 1 hour, all of the other blocks are mitigated. All of the other blocks are mitigated, and from the 15 minutes, the only other block that is yet to be mitigated on this 15 minutes is, the only thing I'm seeing is this zone here. This is the zone I'm seeing, but this zone, I won't want to actually take this sell from this zone, because if this zone has actually cleared this low, I would have preferred this. So I would prefer I get the break of structure on the 1 hour, because that will be more safer. That will be more safer. And you can see there is indecision candle. The candle is not actually moving straight to the downside. So I actually want to see this price take out this low. Then we'll get to look for reasons to actually take this sell to the downside. That's if I want to actually continue. But if it breaks above, then I'll look for possible buy. So that's what we have on silver and US oil. We have a GBP USD, then we have a CAD USD, CAD JPY. I want us to look at CAD JPY first. Maybe from the daily. We're going to GU. So coming from the daily, here, this is what we have. We have this low here, and that low has been taken out. So this is the new low we have here. So let's get to see our target point. So this is the first liquidity target we are looking at for. So let's just work with this particular range, this high. I don't want to go into all of this one. We already know what we have, this fair value gap above. So let's just get to look at the one that is more closer to us to get more precise entry for this week. So here we have a change of character. We have this break of structure here at this level. We have this other break of structure here. Then we have this high taken out, leaving us with this zone here. So on the daily, this is kind of like similar to what we have on GBP JPY, but let's get to see this first high. Okay, this one is yet to be taken up, but we already know that we want to see this price continue. So for this pair too, for CAD JPY, we are looking for bullish sentiment. So on the 4 hours, this is what we have on the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, we have this zone below here. This is what we have on the 4 hours. And I'm seeing something on these 4 hours. On the 4 hours price, let's check 2 hours to see if this is a valid change of character that price is actually what reacting to. Because if we get to check, the price went below this other block just like what we have on GJ. So looking at this, you can see on 2 hours, this is our external so we have this here. We have this change of character here. And having this change of character, I can see price reacting from this supply. I think that's why we're having this sell. And that is why price is reacting to this particular supply. We have a fair value gap at this point. Unlike GBP JPY and USD JPY, we didn't have fair value gap on those zones, and that's why I actually wanted to see price break above them. But let's get to actually get this confirmation clear, because there is still a pending zone here. We still have a pending zone, and if we are to work with the pending zone we have, price is currently at another block. Price is currently at another block, but I don't like this type of other block. This type of other block, I don't. Personally, I don't like them, because this other block is not just at this zone. If you actually want to mark this other block on 4 hours, this zone should extend to this one. So personally, I will not want to actually maybe I want to see this price drop a bit, but if this zone is to hold, because this zone is still in control, this other block is still in control, but personally I will not want to actually take my trade from this. I'll prefer to go with what I have on GBP JPY or USD JPY. Have we looked at USD JPY? Bobby? I think. So I'll prefer to go with what we have there, but this is the zone we have. So for the person that asks for CAD JPY, this zone is still in control. This zone is still in control, and for the fact this zone is still in control, let's get to see if you possibly want to go in on this particular setup. Let's look at what we have on 15 minutes, because now look at what happens when you have market coming from an overall trend. First thing you want to see is price clearing this other block. Just like, I think, was it on gold or something? I explained something there. Now price has given you a change of character here. This other block is till price gets to break below this point. That's when you should be looking at for maybe valid sells, because you will definitely have one other block before the overall one. So even if it's something like I actually wanted to take this sell here, I will have exited at this low or before this low, and that's basically why I trade 1:3. I will have exited at this low before this point. I trade I take my trade zone to zone. So if I actually wanted to take this sell, at this point I will have exited the market or before this other block. Then get to look at what the price will do at this point. I don't know if I'm communicating. Joseph, I think you're the one that asked. So this other block is still in control. So if this price is able to maintain this push, then it will definitely break it, because if you look at what we have on the daily, we want to see push to the upside. But in as much as not to see push to the upside, it doesn't mean price cannot violate the overall trend or something. But from the daily, the price is still bullish. So we expect to take out this high. But if that doesn't happen, then expect price to drop to this zone. So you already have an idea of where price is going to. I want us to look at GU as the last. So let's look at Euro US, Euro AUD. So that when we look at GU, people trading GU will use it as an example for EU and the rest and all of that. I don't know why people get to trade all of these Euro, AUD, Euro, CHF, and all of these pairs. The amount of commission they take you holding trade overnight, except you want to scalp, but that's within you. So first, we've already clocked our time. Okay, so let's look at this. From this particular one, we have this zone here, and this has been mitigated. On the daily, price has already mitigated this point. So this is the high. We want to see price trade into this. But as we want to see price trade into that, on the daily, the price is still bullish, but from what I'm seeing on the 4 hours, it seems we are kind of like bearish. So 4 hours and 1 hour, let's get to see what we have. Okay, so let's get to look at this one, these 4 hours. So from the 4 hours price action, we had a sweep there. We have a change of character, and after having a change of character, price tapped into this zone, and that's how we have that push to the upside. We had a break of structure. We have this break of structure, and having that break of structure, price gave us a new demand at this level, but this pricing gets to it. We have another break of structure to the upside. Then we have this one to the upside. So this is the last order block we are working with here. This is the last order block we want to see. Now, looking at this, let's get to extend this, but I think price has already mitigated this. Okay, the price came very close to it and push to the upside again. So let's get to see if we had a valid change of character. We have a change of character to the upside again at this point. We have this break of structure. So having this break of structure, overall change of character, I don't want to go into looking at this detail because I've already seen the overall trend. So overall, this low has been taken out, giving us this change of character. Yeah. So having this change of character, what do you want to see? First, this is a liquidity point. Once you have these highs, for those that may be attending the class on this call, I've already explained this. This is what liquidity here. This is liquidity. So on the 4 hours, this is what we want to see. We want to see this rise come back into this zone here, but also actually what validates this sell. Come on, this was massive. See, it's not magic. It's not magic. It's not magic. And it's just like maybe I was even working with the pair. So this is liquidity, and I gave all of these criteria in our classes. And during the live section, see, if you've actually even been without even attending any class, if you've been attending, see, if you're able to attend our live stream, even if it's just for 1 week, I don't even think you even need to even pay for any mentorship again. except maybe you don't catch up faster. It's simple. So you can see it was what? We just had this external change of character here. And what? This was liquidity. There was no supply here. And this is where a lot of persons get to make this mistake. You come and mark supply here. You don't mark supply when you have all of these highs at the top. That's liquidity we want to see price. See, the truth is, price will definitely sell to the downside. No doubt. Price will always sell to the downside. If you have those type of supplies, price will definitely take them out. I think I have actually discussed it during the live section or during the classes. The price will definitely take out the liquidity and what consider. So if you see this scenario here, let's see if this gave us a valid break of structure. So this gave us a valid break of structure, but it didn't give us any valid other block to trade from. Look at this other block was mitigated. This was now the only other block left at this point. But price has already used the fair value gap. So you can actually say that even from this point, there was no reason for you to even actually take a sell. There was no reason for you to actually take a sell. And this was the only point to look for buy continuation and price should come back to this supply. And immediately price tapped into the supply. What did you see? Smash to the downside. Easy peasy. So now what do you want to see? Now, price is selling from this point. The only valid zone I'm actually looking at for price is this point here. This is what I want to see. I want to see what price will do at this point. But you already know that when price is coming from overall trend, overall is bearish. So I actually want to see this low take out. But coupled with the fact that we had all of this liquidity and inducement, all of this, definitely price should get to react to this point. But the sellers are still in control. The sellers are still in control. We've already exited it. Exceeded the time. So let's just get to look at, I think that's everything. Let's get to look at GBP USD. And while looking at GBP USD, if you've not actually given a thumbs up to this live section, please do well to hit the like button. Hit the like button, and if you are not a member of this channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button. It's free of charge. Hitting the like button is also free of charge. Do well to support and help this channel grow better so we can actually reach more wider audience. Let's get to impact a lot of person. So GBP USD as the last one. GBP USD as the last one. And if you actually got value from this live section this morning, or you're actually enjoying what we are doing on this channel, from our videos, from our live streams, from the free classes, and if you're actually getting value from this channel, please do it to also leave it in the comment section. At least it will go a long way to actually push out this channel to more wider audience, to help us get to impact the life of other traders. Okay, so looking at GU from the daily, I'm already seeing something crazy on GU. I'm already seeing something crazy on GU. Okay, so if we get to look at GU from the daily, you see this zone has already been mitigated. This zone has already been mitigated, and the supply too on the daily was already is already mitigated. Price has already used them. So what do we have? So previously we were actually looking at, when this fair value gap was yet to be filled, this is what we were actually looking at for. We are looking at for price to come back to this other block, because this is the last other block we have on the daily at this point. So let's get to take this off, then refine the charts to 4 hours. So we've already seen that the price is like in a ranging. This price is ranging because if you look at this, looking at this zone here to this up, this price is just ranging. If you look at from this point, look at this diagram, look at this. So you can actually see that our price is ranging. So what do you want to see next? To the upside or price breaking? If the price is weak or if the sellers are more in control, then they'll break this to the downside. But if the buyers are in control, then we should see GU to the upside, and that's why I said I'm already seeing something crazy on GU coming. So let's get to look at 4 hours. Let's look at 4 hours. So I want to take everything off. So we'll get to look at 4 hours. So first, we'll be working with this high here. You see this high? This high is very, very important on GU. And this low, we had what? This week. So we had a sweep there from the 4 hours. We have this break, and looking at this break, let's get to look at this zone we marked on the daily. So we have this zone, and there's a fair value gap at that point. Now, whatever you are trading, your stop loss has to be below this candle wick. You know, we are marking that other block because of that as the last sell candle before the buy. Alright, so if you look at this here, we have this zone still lying at the down part, and price is currently reacting to this point here. The price didn't even get to even tap into itself, but price is currently reacting to within this level. So if you look at within this level, what we have within this level, we have this change of character. We have this change of character here at this point. There's a change of character, and that's why this price is kind of reacting to this level. But do you think we should have continuation? For the continuation, that is not what I'm actually expecting, because this is what I actually want to see. If price actually wants to make use of this zone, because price has given us, let's refine this to 2 hours. Okay, so personally, I'm seeing this as an inducement. Personally, I'm seeing this level as an inducement. I want to actually see price come into this extreme zone. I don't like when price gets to create engineered liquidity. So personally, I'm not okay with this zone. I'm not. I want to see this price drop all the way to this zone, because you know we are bearish. From last week, we had a supply zone at this point, and that's where price is coming from. So I want to actually see this price come back into this zone. I want to see price come back into this zone. So for the person that asked for GU, I want to see price come back into this zone. Let me get to see on 1 hour if we have any reason to sell. I'm looking to the level on these 2 hours. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything to actually validate this sell. I'm not seeing anything. I think we have this, and this price is currently reacting from this supply. This is not even a valid supply for me. This is not a valid supply I want to see price react from. If I actually want to look for a valid supply, this is what I would have loved to see. This zone here. This is all I would love to see, because I have my liquidity and I still have this fair value gap yet to be filled. So I'll have actually want to see this price come back here and continue to the downside. So, but I'm not actually interested in the price action on GU. Personally speaking, I'm not interested. I want to actually see price here. So if you actually want to take a sell, because I'm not seeing buys, the only buy opportunity I'm seeing, let me check on 1 hour if you kind of get a confirmation. So the only buy I'm seeing is this point here, this zone. And if you are buying at this point, your SL has to be below this candle wick. So I don't know if it makes sense. So the only sell now is at this level here. But I'm not just interested. I want to see price continue to the downside. So if you actually want to take, for the person that asked this, Divine asks and Joseph asks. So this is what we want to see. We want to see this saw to the downside, and this should be our inducement level. This should be our inducement level. So this is what I'm actually looking at for this zone here on GU. On GU, so we've already encroached into. We've already exceeded our time. So we'll get to end it here today. If you've not given this live section a thumbs up, please do so. And if you actually got value from this live stream, let me also know in the comment section. So we'll end it here today. For those for the classes, today is Tuesday. We'll be having our class. We'll be resuming our classes tomorrow 8 p.m. and Friday, God helping, everything being in place. We'll definitely have our class tomorrow. Sincerely speaking, I want to be done with this, and let me know that I'm done with this, so that I think I said it last week that I won't be available from 20th, or let me say 18th to 20th of next month. I'll be off. So I actually want to be done with this. I actually want to be done with these classes, and whatever we have, for those that will actually stick around, then maybe within the free time by December, we'll get to look at this class. We are not just doing this class and closing down the group or closing down the class. No, that class will always be active. That group will always be active, because what we'll always be doing maybe weekly meetup to ensure that what people didn't just learn and relax. We'll make sure the ones that have the burning zeal, the ones that have that burning spirit, to still make sure that what they get to work towards perfection. I get to work on them to achieve that success. You've done the classes, you've done some weeks in the classes, yes. But if you don't practice, or if you don't do a follow-up, definitely you will still forget all of these things. Trading is all about what? Practicing. Whether you're taking live trade or not, always do well to open your chart. So for today, this is where we'll end this live section. See you Monday. Please take note, this live section was shifted to today because of my unavailability as of yesterday. That's why I had to shift it to today, so I can be physically and mentally stable to actually stay long this way speaking. So sitting on this seat or actually going live, it involves a whole lot of stress. So I wasn't actually physically fit for that. So that's I had to shift it to today. So the stress continues tomorrow and by Friday. So see you next week, Monday, 7 a.m. as usual. Come, let's learn together. Come, let's grow together. Come, let's connect and get to improve our knowledge of the chart properly. So there's no point chasing any setup. Whatever we've discussed today, we are going to do a poll on the WhatsApp and on the Telegram group. We are going to be adding more pairs so that it doesn't look like people are not the community is actually like kind of dull. But personally, I trade BTC, USD, JPY, and GJ. I might be adding gold on one of my accounts, so we'll be dropping gold and maybe some other setups from the pool result or whatever I'm actually cool with adding to that. So thank you, and wishing you, all of us or everyone, a fruitful and a blessed week ahead. Both traders, 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever you do, pray for a blessed week. So stay safe, do take care of yourself, and make sure whatever you do, always take our time to actually rest. It's very, very important. Always have time for yourself to rest. It's very, very important, because if you should break down, a lot is involved. That money you're looking at for only one time hospital bill. Only one time hospital bill. All of them, they are gone. Imagine working to save 500k 1 meters just to. So always do well to have some resting time for yourself. It's very, very important, please, so you don't get to break down. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today's live section, and I hope to see you next week, Monday, 7 a.m. And why coming? Please, let's do it always come with one or two. Let's do it always maybe repost the link, the meeting link. Do it to at least invite someone, even if he's already a pro trader. Tell them, I want you to just come look at this. Come and rate what's happening here. What do you think about this? Come with people that also want to learn. Come with beginners, because definitely this channel is actually out to actually what? Support beginners, and also to correct those that maybe they must have learned something that was not correct, gets to put them on the right path. And if you always have any issue, do where to leave it below our comment section on any of the videos, or do where to reach me personally on WhatsApp. I'm going to definitely work to reply to you. So thank you once again, and do have a wonderful week ahead. God bless you all.